Hey folks, Gerald Witt here from the Knoxville News Sentinel with an election day post-mortem, and also to check back and see just how correct I was on my predictions, which actually was pretty doggone good. I got all the commission races correct yesterday, but I whiffed on the 18th House District primary. Martin Daniel won that. I picked Steve Hall to take that one. Getting into the commission, we're correct on all the races. Picked off Michelle Carringer as well to flip that seat and make it a Republican side. And in the first district went to Evelyn Gill. Now there were some outside forces that thought that Michael Covington really was going to make a run at it because he had a lot of money coming in from outside the district. But I think the thing that got him the loss and got Evelyn Gill elected was that there are a lot of folks who are just Democrats. They're going to vote for the person with the D next to their name in that first district. We saw it happen in a judge race here not too long ago, and I think that's very similar to what happened in the first on this particular race. In the 18th House District for Tennessee General Assembly, I was wrong, but I think 4 candidates will do that in a primary race. They split the vote, divided it so thinly that even though Martin Daniel only carried 38% of votes out in that particular district, it wasn't enough to best Steve Hall's 28% or James Corcoran's 25%. I'm betting there's probably a candidate out there today that's going, man, if that other guy wasn't in the race, I probably would have had a shot. Anyway, we're going to see Daniel in the general election in November, and I'm betting that he's going to ride the strength of the Republican Party to carry that seat again for another 2 years. But don't be surprised if Corcoran shows up again in some future race. He had a really strong run. Also, Steve Hall is well known in the district. He'll probably show up again too, I bet, in a couple of years. That second district vote up in North Knoxville, up in the Fountain City, that got Michelle Carringer her first win in the election to Knoxville County Commission. She got 51% of the vote. It was a 75 vote margin that separated her and Laura Kildare. What that spells out is not necessarily how close it was for that to flip from a Democrat to the Republican side, but a little bit looking forward onto the 13th State House District, because a lot of that overlap in the 2nd District for Knox County Commission and the 13th District for State House, where Eddie Smith defeated Gloria Johnson 2 years ago, are very, very close. So a lot of the people from the Republican side are looking at that and going, okay, this was a little bit of a lead up to how we're going to see things maybe play out in November, where a lot of folks are putting a lot of money and effort and time and energy behind Gloria Johnson to regain her seat as a Democrat and take it away from Eddie Smith, who beat her in 2014 as a Republican. This also showed out in some of the primary voting that happened, just who was pulling the Democrat and Republican primary ballots. Neither Smith nor Johnson had any opponents yesterday, but there were 1,423 ballots cast for Eddie Smith in that primary anyway, to 1,638 for Gloria Johnson. So you're looking at kind of a maybe early advantage for Johnson there. Pay attention to that. That one's going to be probably your strongest race going into November. Looking ahead also, on Saturday, Georgiana Vines, our columnist, is going to be looking at some of the political breakdowns and ramifications that occurred in the 18th District to allow Martin Daniel to win. Also, if you want to look ahead to Sunday, we're going to have a back-to-school package in the News Sentinel and also online at knoxnews.com, where I'll have a breakdown of what the incoming school board members mean for the selection of a new superintendent and some of the shifting politics happening on that board in the last couple of years. Again, I'm Gerald Witt. You can follow us on Knox News or PolitiKnox or me at GWitt on Twitter. And as always, we're available online 24/7 at knoxnews.com. Thanks a lot.